Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach, and it is the big first major buy, round 13 coming up in a day and 20 hours, as I can see it ticking away. I love honestly the Thursday night games. I actually do enjoy. I used to hate them when they first came in, but honestly, a Thursday night game, it just makes the week so much shorter. You know, all of a sudden I'll do like my wrap up for Supercoach, and then I'll do a preview, and all of a sudden it's like a day away from kickoff for Thursday night footy. But I've gone off on a bloody rant already. But let's quickly go into what do they got here. This week is a buy round. Your team will score points. Yeah, okay. So your best 13 players, top 13 scores. It's good that they actually say something about it, because unless you like watch like podcasts and other YouTube creators and stuff, you probably it's sort of hard to find like the actual rules and stuff. But it's good that they actually have it here, and you can obviously check a bit more out about that. But we'll go through the team. We'll go through the trades, and I do think I'm definitely going to be using 3 trades. I'm half tempted to use a boost, but I don't think it's worth it. But we'll talk more about that. I'll also talk about team lists, because there's been some pretty big team news for a few of the teams, and for me personally, everything is pretty okay. So everyone pretty much got named. The only guy, fucking Lockie Miller, so that was reported that he was going to get dropped to New South Wales Cup. Honestly, worst thing to come out, he's on the goddamn bench. He's on the bench, bro. Oh, man. I honestly, I mean, Miller is a definite trade now. Like, he was probably a definite trade for me anyway, like I was talking about. I have Holmes and Miller. And Miller was going to be a great play for the buy, but obviously not anymore. Val Holmes was going to be like my trade. He was going to be gone, not playing much over the Origin period, and yeah, I think it was just time to move him on. But the fact now that Holmes potentially plays round 14, like, maybe he doesn't back up, but I mean, the Cowboys are playing so shit that surely he does back up, and hopefully with a bit of form. Miller, now that he's on the bench though, he's going to leak a lot of cash. I just don't know where they're going to use him. Like, I honestly, I have no idea. Like, are they going to hook? I don't know. We'll go through the team list, but the rest of the guys, Jack Bird is back, which is great. I would have been so salty if Jack Bird missed this game as well, for the bye. But Bird's named. Who else was? I mean, Jackson Ford is back into the team. He was. I mean, I was pretty confident he would be, but obviously he missed a couple of weeks ago with the head knock, and the Warriors played pretty well without him. And then the bye, but yeah, he's straight back into the side, which is nice. Josh Schuster is backing up. Thankfully, no more injuries. Well, at the moment. And then yeah, the rest of it's pretty much stock standard. We will quickly go through each team, because I had a quick skim, but I didn't look too closely at everything going on. So yes, Dolphins. The Dolphins, we start out with a pretty big couple of moves here. So Cody Nikorima is playing fullback. Now, Nikorima is a very popular option. Well, I don't know if he's going to be that popular, but a lot of people are talking about him. He's been averaging really good the last few weeks in the halves. Going back to fullback, I mean, people sort of look at a player going to fullback and just think, oh, he's gonna kill it. You know, player playing a fullback, they'll do really well. And he has, like, the few games he has played a fullback, he has done well. But I honestly don't see them doing this. I don't see Cody Nikorima being able to play fullback nowadays. But we'll see. The rest of the backline is how it was. So the thought that Zarko would go to fullback and potentially Tavade would come in has not happened, but Tavade is on the bench. He's on the bench. So, I mean, personally, I think I just can't see this happening. I think Nikorima is going to go into the halves. Well, I guess they're starting Milford and Katoa. Maybe Nikorima goes to 14 or goes to the bench. Izako goes to fullback, and but then Tavade would have to play on the wing. I don't think you'd want him on the wing, and Ewan Aiken and Brenko Lee aren't wingers. So I honestly don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I think it is a game that you should just keep an eye on, like late mail, because I wouldn't be shocked to see it sort of shift around. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know. Maybe he is going to use Tavade as more of a middle forward or come on the edge. Honestly, I wouldn't hate to see it. I mean, the man's a monster, and can he transition to like playing in the forwards? I honestly, part of me thinks yes, because it would save like potential defensive reading deficiencies to an extent playing in the centers, but we'll see. I don't know. See what Wayne Bennett is thinking. The rest of the team is pretty stock standard. The Dragons, though, also fairly a bit to talk about, I guess. So the back line, as it is, so Jane Sullivan comes in for Ben Hunt. Jacob Little starts. Jack DeBellin goes to lock. Jack Bird back, obviously, thank God. Michael Molo starts because, what's his face? What's his name? Fucking Blake Laurie. Blake Laurie is gone with like a fractured hand. And the bench is pretty good for, I would think, Jack Bird. Surely he plays 80 minutes, so there's not too much else there, really. Yeah. I mean, Jacob Little, honestly, I was going to have a quick look at the dummy Haas and Jacob Little. The fact that Mo Zembai is the 14, I probably wouldn't do it just because I wouldn't think Little will play 80. But if there was no utility and Little was looking to play 80 minutes, honestly, I wouldn't have hated potentially having a closer look at Little. But let's move into the Eels Cowboys. There's quite a few changes here as well. There was a couple of, I guess, I wanted to see Helam Lukey named as well, and thankfully he was. So, Eels backline, stock standard. The forward back though, so Joe Offengawi, he played literally last week for the Tigers, flogged the Cowboys, and now he comes straight over to the Eels, start in their forwards, and gets to do it all over again against the Cowboys. And honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if they flog him again. I wouldn't be shocked at all. So Joe Offengawi, also a popular option. I wanted to have a look at him as well. I don't think he's more of a luxury trade. I think Offengawi, like, he's not cheap. I gotta have a look, but he should play pretty big minutes with just, you know, Paulo being out, Regan Campbell-Gillard being out, still Sean Lane, Ryan Madison. They're missing some forwards, so Bryce Cartwright gets a spot still. Matt Dury comes back into the side, so if people held Dury, you're sitting pretty. Jermaine Hopgood, I mean, I gotta be honest, I would love to get Hopgood in, but again, it's a luxury trade that I just don't need to make. But I would love to have Hopgood because I feel like he's probably going to play 80 minutes this week because they've, you know, yeah, I just feel like he will. And then the Cowboys, couple of debutants. So Zach Labert comes into the centers, Robert Derby onto the wing. So it's so annoying, honestly, that Dearden's the 18th man for Queensland. Like, honestly, like, it fucks the Cowboys even more. You gotta play Ben Hampton at 5'8". Are you serious? Oh my word. Luciane is still starting in the back row, which I still find very strange. Helam Lukey still starting. Jake Granville. The bench is what it is. Griffin Neem back. Did he play last week? I don't think so. Was he one of the ins? Yeah, so that's a pretty big in. Griffin Neem coming back into the middle rotation. Jason Tamalolo extended bench, which you would expect and you would hope he would come in and piss off Jake Granville to the bench, I guess. But we'll see what they do there. But hopefully Tamalolo's back. But regardless, shouldn't change too much. Hopefully Helam Lukey just... I mean, the Eels could flog the Cowboys again, so I don't know. Lukey might not score well in that one either. The Warriors-Broncos. The Warriors have a very strong team. Luke Metcalf has got the 6 jersey. Now, I think Tamari Martin is like back pretty soon, so... he would be like Metcalf. I do want to have a quick look at Metcalf as well, but I think he potentially could go massive like any game he plays, but I just think Martin will be back at some point fairly soon, and Metcalf might be a bit of an annoying sort of non-playing player. The forward pack, so yeah, Jackson Ford gets the spot back. Bunty Afoa keeps the starting spot, which is nice. Tohu Harris is playing, obviously. He's obviously probably the guy I'm bringing in the front row. Also, I didn't even notice, but yeah, Wade Egan is out and Dylan Walker. I honestly don't know what happened to those two, but they're gone. And then the Broncos, so Tristan Saylor. He's a player. Tristan Saylor, my God, he is good. I cannot wait to see him out on the field. I mean, the Broncos, for the amount of players they're missing, like, it's still a pretty strong team. Like, the fact that Adam Reynolds and Ezra Mam are still there is very nice. The back line, Dean Mariner, absolutely electric. Centre pairing strong. Tristan Saylor, I think, will do a fantastic job. And then the forward pack, it's weaker for sure, but it's still okay. It's still okay. The Warriors definitely have a nice little advantage here, but get a couple of look at a couple of young Broncs here, Willison and Piacora, a couple of guys that have been touted for a long time now that just haven't really had a crack, but it'll be exciting to see some. The Rabbits, so yeah, Blake Taft comes in for Mitchell. Campbell Graham is playing. Oh, so funny, dude. I won't really talk too much about that, but that's rather funny. Their forward pack, obviously, Cook is still there. No Murray, no Arrow. Shaq Mitchell. So Shaq Mitchell's back. So yeah, again, he'd be honestly. He'd be good to bring in, but it's just not worth the trade this week. I've got too many other priority trades to make. So Shaq Mitchell, he could be one for the future though. A little bit of downgrade option. He was looking pretty good, playing pretty big minutes, but we'll see how he comes back. The Raiders, so the back line, pretty standard. So Sami Solo starts at prop. Harry and Naira comes back into the back row. Corey Horsburgh's gone to the back row. And Joe Tarpany's gone to lock with... who's out? It was Elliot Whitehead and obviously Hudson Young at Origin, but Whitehead's out with injury. So quite a reshuffle there with the forwards. It'll be interesting to see how they go. Horsburgh playing in the back row. I don't know. I think he'll do a fine job. He's got a decent passing game on him, so it'll work. Yeah, the Knights, so Ponga there, fucking Lockie Miller, 14. Adam Elliott gets the start. I wouldn't hate to get Elliott either, but again, I don't think it's worth it. But yeah, I don't know. Don't think so. And then the Manly side, so Fainu gets the spot over, well, Benchboyevich is gone, and it seems from NRL Physio, it seemed like he was gone for probably 4 to 6 weeks, even longer. So, Fainu, if you didn't jump on Benchboyevich, Fainu could be a very good downgrade option that I'm potentially looking at. And then Cooper Johns over Cherry Evans. Oh, God. Schuster's there. KO Weeks is fullback instead of Garrick, which, I don't know, I find it a bit strange because they've got fucking Tui Pilotu on the bench with Carl Lawson. What the hell is that? But yeah, that's the rundown thus far. So some interesting pickups to be made. So what am I doing? Dummy halves, first and foremost. So let's just have a quick gander at some of the dummy halves. So we'll have a quick look at Nikorima. I really don't see myself going Nikorima. He has been killing it, don't get me wrong. But he's 440k. No, he's 480k. I was looking at Smith. He's coming off some big scores. Like, he's been killing it. Isaiah Katara, on the other hand, has not been. But, he's got, like, I want to say 4 plus 80 scores in a row, something like that. No, he's gone, like, 68, 75, 97. It's wild, dude. It's very good. Playing fullback, I feel like he's capped. He's capped, I think, Nikorima. I think he's one of those guys you're chasing last week's points or last 3 weeks' points. I just can't see it happening a couple more times. He'll make a bit more cash, but then you'll probably have to get rid of him pretty quickly, so it's a bit of a wasted trade, I think. I still think, for me, Damien Cook is the best option. They are missing a couple of key middle forwards, and Cook just hasn't really shown the ceiling, but he's 100k less than Marshall King, and he's a little bit more expensive than Robson, but Robson, let's be real, Robson, Cook, you're going to go Cook every day of the week, and the Cowboys have a god-awful draw. They cover the buys nicely, but it's a really tough draw. Like, really tough. I mean, taking on Parramatta this week, they're missing a lot of forwards, but their team is really strong still. So, I think for me, Cook is he's just the best option. We'll look at, Sullivan starting at halfback. Cherry Evans will be back in no time. Who else? I wanted to look at, Jacob Little. So, okay, he's only a tick over 300k. Like, he's pretty cheap, but what's he playing? Yeah, play 55 minutes, 33. No, it's just not worth it. He might make, I feel like he will make some decent cash, but not worth it in my opinion. So yeah, I think it's just Cook, and then it's just, do I trade I still don't know if I trade Grant or Tanner Boyd. I still don't know. It is a tough one. Because if we look round 14, who the Titans play? Titans Rabbitohs, tough game. Storm are taking on the Cowboys, and that's a Sunday afternoon game, so Grant probably does back up. I think I just get rid of Boyd. I think it's his time. Grant, I think we just hold Grant. For the remainder. Let's do the trade now, just to see sort of how we're working it. So Damien Cook comes in. We still have 260k left. There's a bit I want to do for sure. So we do need Tohu Harris in. Now, I think I just get rid of Welsh. I know I was talking about this in the last video, and I was like, oh, I'll keep Welsh. He didn't get named for Origin. But for one, Welsh is not really, he's just not really doing it. Like, he got a 60 the other week, but really he's getting 50, which is fine, but there's a lot cheaper, well, not cheaper, but there's a lot of guys that can go 50, and I think just more upside than Welsh. And Bunty Fowler plays this week. He could make a bit of cash. He could score some good points and be in the top 13. And I think even if I get rid of a Fowler this week for Tohu, I'm going to get rid of Welsh probably next week or the week after for, there's a couple of guys, but Max King is high on the list. A couple of others. So I think Welsh, he's done, I was going to say he's done his job, but not really. He's been pretty fucking atrocious for me, but he's been fine. Because if we look, the top three, they're killing it. Even fucking DeBellin, he's averaging, well, his 3-round average is 80. Average overall 60. Ruben Cotter, excuse me. But I think, Tohu Harris, he's still lost a bit of cash, but his average is still 65. Like, it's just a good time to get him. So we'll bring excuse me, something in my throat. We'll bring Tohu straight in. Tohu straight in. And I wanted to have a quick look. Is that Fainu? I was like, why the hell is it just fucking... It was showing like every player. Okay, it was because I'd already made the trade, so it wasn't like... what's it called? doing showing just the forwards, because I wanted to look at Fainu for the Seagulls, because I don't even know. I think he's second row on the game, but I'm not actually too sure what duels he is, if any. I should have gone backwards for the... So how much is Shaq Mitchell? Let's have a quick look here too. So he's 285. And he's actually probably going to make some money this week, but yeah, it's not worth the trade. Not worth the trade in my humble opinion. All right, Seagulls. I mean, Hamali Olakwatu. He just hasn't really done it this year. He's been a bit lackluster, in my opinion. Taniela Paseka's gone okay. I mean, even Paseka over fucking Christian Welsh. Where is... So yeah, Ben Trebojevic. That's a real kick in the guts right there. Oh, so Samuela Fainu? He's a front row forward. Okay, That's thrown me a little bit. He's just front row forward, which is, I mean, that's good, but also, I don't know. So what the hell do I do now? I might, do I have to boost? I might have to boost, which I know is crazy. Well, it's not crazy, but like, I do think I need to get rid of Miller. Like it... It is a bit annoying. Do we have... I don't think... Yeah, I can't even... I don't think I could have like the duels to swing it, because I don't have a front row / second row forward in my second row. The only guy I've got, Harris and Tarpany, are both in the front row, so I think I might have to boost. I might have to, because if Miller was just dropped, I could just I would just hold on to Miller, and it would be fine. It would be fine because he wouldn't lose cash, but because he's on the bench, he might come on and play like 10 minutes and score fucking 5 points. So Miller's got to go, but I do think Fainu... I mean, he's just a good... I guess I don't have to bring Fainu in, but the fact he's front row forward, it would be nice. Like, it would be nice to get rid of... It would be nice to get rid of Pele, or even Bunty Afoa for that point. But probably Pele. I mean, getting rid of Pele would be beautiful. But let's just see. So Lucky Miller. What do we do with Miller? I mean, the funny thing about it is that we could potentially... You know what we could do? So let's... Oh, but fuck, I was gonna... No, that's right. What am I thinking? I was gonna get... I completely forgot. I was gonna bring Cody Walker in. I honestly completely forgot about that. So I think... Have I got enough money for it? 150. We could definitely make the money, but let's have a quick look. So I was thinking maybe I could get in a guy for like the second buy. Obviously it'd be a bit of a waste this week, but nah, the fact Walker's there. But I think Walker, if we go down Manu there, bring the 5'8", we're just a little short. So I think I do think Walker is the play. I mean, granted, like Moses, I was still keen on Moses, but this Miller news, I can't do the I can't do Hines to Moses really. I just think I hold both of them. Bring in Walker instead, because otherwise I got to keep Miller in the side, which isn't. It's just not going to work. So if we cancel that for now, I just think Walker's the play. I think he's a bit overpriced, but well, actually, how much was Luke Metcalf? I don't think I'm gonna do this. I think this is a bit audacious. But where he's 250k, man. Oh man, he's so good. Like, the thing is, he's so good. He's so good. I'm gonna have a better look at like when Tamari Martin, how long he's out for, because I do think when he's back, Metcalf probably just goes straight out of the team. But man, he's good. He's very, very good. And how do the Warriors? How's the Warriors draw? I know it's good for buy coverage. Who have they got? So obviously Broncos this week, which is pretty good matchup, with the players missing. Dolphins in round 14. That's a pretty good matchup. Canberra, they don't play 16, but then Dragons, Rabbitohs, they play 19. I doubt he'd be in there for that long anyway, but it's a pretty good like month of games for sure. And the Rabbitohs, the thing with the Rabbitohs is that they do have a good draw, but I mean, without Mitchell, Murray, and Arrow, surely they're going to be not that good. But oh man, I feel they have a really good draw though. They have a really, really good draw. It's Raiders, which is not easy, but then Titans, Dragons, they don't play 16 either, like the Warriors, so that's fine. Then Cowboys, Warriors, Bulldogs, and then not 20. So I think I just go Walker. I think going Metcalf, like, it would bank me cash, and he's a point scorer. I gotta be honest, it would be nice to do, but I think I just go Walker. Now, to make the money, either we could trade. I mean, easily we could just trade Grant to Cook instead of Tanner Boyd. That's a very simple way to do it. And honestly, I'm not opposed to it. I know I just said I'll just keep Grant, but it nets me, almost 100k off the trade. It's not bad. Who else did we bring in just then? Harris. There's no other way to make money there. That's fine. So it's pretty much just we either do that trade or we do the boost and trade out Bunty Afoa for Fainu. But I'd rather get rid of if I was going to use the boost, I would rather get rid of Pele for Fainu. Yeah. But do I use a boost on Fainu? That's the thing. I'll have one boost after that. I mean, 3 trades in the buys is usually enough anyway. It's just the way things shaped up this week. I don't know. It would just be so nice to have a front row forward that could actually make money and potentially be a decent point scorer. I don't really know. Let's just have a quick look. How did Fino even score? He came on he probably played like 40 odd minutes, I think. Honestly, I didn't really notice him. It didn't really look like he did much work at all. So, yeah, when he was on the field, I was trying to keep an eye on him. And it didn't, I don't know. It didn't look like he passed the eye test too well. But he is a prospect. Like, he is definitely a very talented footballer. Where the hell's he gone? Oh, here we go again. I'm not going to be able to fucking find him. Wait, why is he not here? What the hell? Oh, I went second row, you damn idiot. God, guy is stupid. Oh my god, they all blend in. Here he is, 200k. So he scored 30. What did he play? 40 minutes then? He played 52. Yeah. I don't know. He doesn't really pass. He played 40 minutes, 16 points against the Tigers. But he's definitely a try-scoring back rower. He's 200k, that's the thing. He's going to make money. He's going to be better than a plotter. So I don't know. Is it worth using a boost? I'll have to decide. But it seems... get back to the damn team. It seems like I'm pretty set on what I want to do with the team. As it's frozen, there we go. I do think I probably trade out Grant and get Cook instead of Boyd. It is what it is. Boyd, we'll see. I don't think the Nicarima play is the right one. I just think Cook is the better option out of everyone. I would like Marshall King, but he's just a bit too expensive. I think Harris... I do think Harris is the best option to bring in the front row. I would love Hopgood. Don't get me wrong. I would love... Actually, I didn't even look. Where is... How expensive is Joe Offengowie? I still think... what's his face? Harris is a better option. And then also I'd probably have too many Eels players. How cheap is he? He's honestly, I'm not gonna get him this week, but next week. Well, so they don't play round 14, but then after round 14, honestly, I'd probably just try to swing Bunty Afoa up to him. He'll probably make cash this week, I would say, but it's not going to be, hopefully not a stack. And then I think he'll be a pretty good, like, 60-point front rower for, like, 450, 460 maybe. Then in a couple of weeks you can pick up. So I don't think this week, but in a couple of weeks, I think Joe Offengowie is a really good shout. I mean, if you need a front row forward and you don't have that many Eels players, I think Offengowie is pretty solid. Like I said, Hopgood. I think Hopgood is probably the best Eels player that I don't have. But there's no one to trade out. Like, I'm not going to trade out for Feeder. Like, it would make me a lot of cash, but I'm just not going to do that. Peachy's time to go is soonish, but not yet. And then no Moses does scare me a bit, but at the end of the day, there's not much we can do. Cody Walker will be in, and then the backline's pretty good. I will have a quick, before we head off, let us have a quick look at, pretty much what players we are missing for each team that are like the best on the bye. So for the Bronx, there's not a whole lot. I mean, Herbie Farnworth has been pretty rock solid, but it's fine not to have him. Ezra Mammon Reynolds has been very up and down. There's no one really here that stands out. I mean, Katoni Staggs. Katoni Staggs is nice, but it's like it's Katoni Staggs or Cody Walker, and I think, come on, you pay the premium for Cody Walker in that sense. I mean, getting like a cheapie like Palacia, but he's just not going to be there for long enough. So what's the next team? Cowboys. I mean, Drinkwater. I do think Drinkwater as a pod fullback this week could be they take on the Eels. It's a tough matchup for the Cowboys. So I'm not that concerned not owning Drinkwater. Reece Robson, again, like he's averaging 57. It's fine, but just not great. And then again, like there's just no one else. I mean, Tamalolo's back, but he's dropped off. Poor old Tamalolo, he's dropped off. And then nothing too much else exciting for the Cows. The Dolphins, so fucking Jermaine Sarko, oh my god, 25%. He has been the absolute killer this year for me and many others. He's averaging almost, high 70s. On fire. Marshall King would also be lovely. Connolly Lemuelu, don't even start me. I mean, he did good work for me. Unfortunately, I got off Lemuelu at the bad time because he went absolutely ballistic after I went off him. But he was still good for me. he just went to another level, which really pisses me off. Who else? I mean, Nikorima, nah, I think fading him. Zay Katoa, so he got 7. So I traded Nikorima Katoa last week, thankfully. 7 points. Yeah, he didn't play the full game, did he? I actually don't really know what happened with Katoa there. But yeah, a good thing I got off him, honestly. It was the right decision. He might come out this week and go big, but I think it was time. So Valens Tavade, I mean, again, just keep an eye on late mail. He might come in and start. I don't know. We'll see. The Dragons, so Jack DeBellin would be a pretty rock-solid front row option. Jane Sewer. I still think Jane Sewer deserves an origin spot, just quietly. I think because he plays for the Dragons, he doesn't really get the recognition he deserves. But, man, I think Sewer is one of the best back rows in the comp. But that's just my opinion. Who else? For the Dragons, not much doing. I mean, Ravalawa on his day can go well. Zach Lomax has always been a pretty solid option. But other than that, so Tyrell Sloan, he got 29 points. Picked it up a little bit. See how we go. He'll probably bust out 100 this game. No one really else there. The Eels, so yeah, Mitch Moses, he's the real danger this week because if people have him and captain him and he goes massive, they win the week just by that. Jermaine Hopgood, like he'll probably get like fucking 100 points. He'll play the 80 minutes and kill it. And then no one really else though. Like a lot of okay players. I mean, Offengayo, like I said. But yeah, and then the Knights. So Dane Gagai, I mean, he's 7-OK, so I wouldn't go him, but he's been very good in Supercoach lately. Greg Marju, he's fallen back down a little bit, but still very solid. Who else have we got? So Adam Elliott starting. How many minutes did he play last game? He played. I mean, look at the PPM, dude. I mean, round 1, he was busted. But then when he came back round 11, 35 minutes, 42 points. 50 minutes, 44 points. God, he's so good. But, yeah, I think he's a similar one like Offengawi. Like, I'm not that worried about picking him up this week. But after they're buying round 13, he could be a great pickup for like round 14 and onwards. I mean, round 15 and onwards, but we'll see. Kalen Ponga, I mean, I wouldn't go Kalen. I mean, I guess I could have gone Kalen Ponga instead of Cody Walker, but he'll have the goal kicking back. He will have the goal kicking back, and he's playing fullback. Oh, man, you know what? Do you take a big punt on Kalen Ponga? With a point to prove? Playing fullback, he'll definitely be goal kicking, surely. I mean, he's a far better goal kicker than fucking Lachlan Miller as it is. I don't really understand why Ponga wasn't goal kicking. I mean, maybe there's something up with it, so maybe he won't kick and like a Hastings will, but I mean, surely Ponga kicks, but playing fullback, oh man, you know what? I'm honestly like half tempted. I'm honestly very tempted to take a real flyer on Ponga in this one instead of Cody Walker. I feel like obviously the concussion, right? And obviously I guess as well, depending what happens with Queensland, they might not win game 1. Ponga comes straight back in. And yeah, you know what? The more I think about it, the Knights, I just can't have that many players because round 14 will kill me. And Walker's like such a good pickup for round 14. So as much as the 300k difference or whatever it is would be nice, Just can't do it. Just can't do it, unfortunately. It sounded very nice on paper, but yeah, it's just not the go. The Rabbitohs, Campbell Graham obviously not making Origin, will probably come out and blitz it. Keon Kalamatangi is on the extended bench, so he is a potential option in a couple of weeks. Could be very nice. And then no one else really. I mean, Tavita Tola and like a Hame Saleh could be pretty good front row options, but we don't really need them at this stage. Jacob Host with a 21. He gets some low scores, bloody Jacob Host. The Raiders, so the big one here, I mean, Horsburgh, very solid option still. Playing in the back row will be interesting. But the big one here, Haru Renira, he's 400k, playing on an edge. Again, it's a bit of a luxury trade that I can't do it. I could, but I just don't think it's necessary. But if you have the potential, if you have a few back row options that you want to cash in on, like a Hosking probably. I mean, Haru Renira could be a pretty good option if we're being honest. And then is that it? And then the Seagulls. There's not too much doing here. I mean, Ola Kawatu can have big games, but without Cherry Evans inside of him, yeah. Paseka, again, another very good option in the front row that's a bit cheaper. I think would be a very good option to go with the forwards out. And then that's pretty much it. I mean, Fainu as well is the main guy here that I think is a pretty good pickup for a cheapy downgrade option that should have some pretty good job security. And then yeah, that's it. So, the Warriors as well. So, for Noel Blake, again, great front row option. Just way too expensive for me now. Sean Johnson, I wouldn't be going, but if you're trying to get rid of Nico Hines, it's out of Johnson and Moses, but I'd go Moses, surely. You'd go Moses. Nickel Klokstad, again, very, very good option in the center wing. Who else? No one else really. So honestly, I mean, my team compared to who I'm missing for this week, I think it's pretty damn good. So hopefully we have a bounce back week. I'll have to decide on what I'm gonna do with if I use a boost to bring in Fainu, or do I just go Grant to Cook instead, because we do have to bring in Walker for Lockie Miller, and then yeah, it's pretty much set. But I would like to get rid of Pele for Fainu. It would be a very nice downgrade, or even, I mean, honestly, even like a Bunty forward to Fainu, I think is pretty okay. He's probably more of a chance to score a double and get 80 points this week than a forward to get his 30 points. So, yeah, we'll decide. But hope the guys are enjoying the Supercoach action. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.